What's up, everybody? Welcome to the K-Pop Kimchi Podcast, your number one podcast for girl groups with the number one fanboys. I'm your host, Justin Turnout, with my co-host, Brian Limper, and we got some extra special guests.
That's why today we got boys with a Z, because there's multiple.
The boys.
When you have the boys, that means you have
Two
to have
Z's, because the one Z's taken, so we're the boys.
Boys, maybe SZ, I don't know.
Z, yeah, whatever. But we're coming
To
live, not live, but we're in LA right now.
Technically, we're live.
Right this minute, we're live. But
So
yeah.
it's a loose definition. But we are actually in a very nice hotel room in Los Angeles, California.
It's raining outside.
We've been here for long enough, it doesn't really feel like it. But we have two special guests with us today.
Absolutely.
You can introduce yourselves.
What's up? I am Brett.
Yeah!
Brett?
And we have a returning guest, too.
What's up? It's your boy, Zeg. On his three-peat.
Yeah, let's go back for another championship.
Woo! Special
Woo.
guest.
We've all been brought here today because we've spent the entire weekend going to KCON.
Let's KCON.
Let's
KCON.
KCON.
Well, KCON.
Yeah.
Whatever the past tense is now, because it's over.
Yeah, it ended. I originally wanted to do a review, and do special episodes after each day, but I'm going to be honest with you, I was very tired and very lazy because they're very long days, and I didn't feel like doing that.
It was a long day.
So-
all of them were.
Here we are, doing it right now, sitting in the hotel room the night before we all depart and go our own separate ways in the middle of the most devastating hurricane / tropical storm California has seen in 84 years when my grandmother was 10.
I just want to pat ourselves on the back for, we did all this. People just aren't going to understand how hard it is. We had to do all this with a hurricane going
But
on.
you guys don't get
just
it.
remember, I keep choking on this rice, but
6 inches of water.
6 inches of water can do a lot of damage for a human being. That's what I learned from the news today in California.
nonsense.
So I also learned that 3 inches of water is enough to clog a drain and stop people from going to school.
Yeah, shout out to the kids here who don't have to go to school the next couple of days. For
No
this.
offense to anyone who's listening to this who's in California.
Yeah, it's just a little different, I guess, from our bad weather. But it has been raining all day, so they weren't wrong about that.
It got a little gusty when we went out to go get some food a couple minutes ago.
That was actually the weather when it was at its worst, I guess, was when we walked the block to get our food.
But yeah, if any of you listen to this have ever heard of a little thing called Hurricane Hillary, we lived it.
We lived it and went to KCON all 3 days.
We did. And you can probably hear it in the background right now because it's very
Got the
warm in
breeze.
here
Yeah.
because it doesn't go below 68 degrees for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Which for me personally is terrible because my thermostat never goes above 65 degrees. So I'm sweating right now. I don't know if I'm going to make it out alive. But everyone else seems to be pretty cool. Justin's got a sweatshirt on like always. So
Like always.
yeah, KCON. The first day, I guess we can talk about the actual show itself. I was going to say we go through a history of how we got here. But I don't know if that really matters too much. Maybe Justin and I will cover our actual adventure here
We
later
can do
this
that
week.
in another episode. Yeah, I mean, we can just talk about the days, I guess.
But yeah, we went to the convention. Oh, you know what? First off, here's the first thing I'm going to say.
I think you're going to read my mind.
Overall,
on this one.
KCON is cool. The whole setup and the first entrance and getting in and everything, garbage. You
Here's
just get
the
that
thing.
fixed.
Absolutely horrible. I hope everyone at KCON, whoever puts those listening to this, figure your stuff out because...
Or email us back and give us press
let us
passes
know
so
where
you
to
don't have to
actually
wait in
go.
line, okay?
Because not only day 1 or day 2 or day 3, we had issues with this every time of where to go, where to stand, where to go into the actual venues. It was nonsense.
Because for those who don't know, there's a meet and greet, right? And it's a whole separate thing, of course. It was you had to buy everything separate. All of us had to buy everything separately. It was very annoying. Now, the meet and greet for Inmix we had was at 10 o'clock, and the doors opened at 10 o'clock. Why would you do that? That makes zero sense. Because you guys went to other meet and greets. Were any of those at 10 o'clock?
No.
Idle
The earliest
was.
one I think was low. Oh yeah, Idle
We had
was,
one
that was
today.
this morning.
Well,
That was a special thing though.
this
today,
morning
the
was
rain.
special because they let us all in early from the rain.
Yeah, that did not happen with us.
I
We
don't know
literally
what
got in
happened.
line,
Well, actually,
and we were in line, and it was 10:30, and we were literally probably another
This
hour
line-
away from the front of the
So,
building to get in.
okay, here we go. Day 1. We're
This
on
is
day
day-
1.
this is day one. This is our
Getting
first
in line.
experience. First off, it's a beautiful day. It was really nice. It was really nice.
It was so nice.
We could
It
not
was
have
such
timed
a
this
beautiful-
any more perfectly.
literally from flying to getting here to walking over to meeting our friends, everything.
We always talk about how we always mess up or something crazy
working.
happens, and we just managed to make it. This time we actually were on time, perfect on the dot. Didn't work out. Maybe that's where we went wrong. We should have shown up at 10:05 and we would have just zoomed in. I don't know.
I guess.
Oh my gosh.
We found out like a day later there was apparently a meet and greet entrance that nobody knew about.
And literally the guy that told us about it later on, after like the whole meet and greet was over with and we missed it, he was like a guy with like, I don't know if he worked for them. He had like a safety vest on. He's like, oh yeah, this girl told me there's a separate entrance. I'm like, that'd been cool to know, like 45 minutes ago before we missed the thing.
Before we were late.
Before we didn't get to meet Lily.
Also,
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know if that was like.
I have no idea what's right, what's wrong.
All I know is any of the other meet and greets I did, I never had to go to some random other building to sign in. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that was true.
I think kind of get a little bit of things fixed because later on there's like a bunch of different signs up and different people giving directions and
today,
even like roped off areas so people aren't running around like all crazy and stuff.
Today, when we were in line and it was actually getting kind of close because the line was extremely long again, they did have a guy come back and say, if you have the meet and greet, like we skip, they're like, go to the front.
And the second day they did it too because remember we were standing there but we didn't have one.
They're like go to the front. So
that was day one and that was like the first. We didn't even get inside the building yet.
Our first KCON experience, missing something.
Terrible,
so
terrible.
Sick.
Get it figured out. Especially when you do it for so many years, you got to get that figured out. Like you should know by now.
I don't know. It was
a little disappointing start.
Yeah, it was. We were outside for a very long time, and then I was very sweaty. I don't like to be sweaty. But then once we actually got in, there's like a convention thing you can go to, right?
Yeah.
And it's got a bunch of little booths and different stages where like artists come up and they do like fun games or like, interviews or like little concerts and stuff. So that was pretty sick. I'm thinking, I don't know, even remember who was there on day one.
What was everyone's most fun first day memory?
Of the convention?
Me being pissed that I'm standing outside and like sweat my dick off and it's like nowhere close to getting inside. Every time we turned a corner, I was like,
that was always
almost
depressing.
there.
We're like, it's right here.
We're almost there. Next thing you know, a whole nother freaking line that's like a mile long. Like, there's no way.
Oh, my best memory was I looked right into Eugen's eyes.
That's a pretty good memory.
You guys went into the first meet and greet, which was...
we went into Ive.
Yeah, we managed to get it.
How was that?
We barely made it.
Oh, yeah, they made it to their Ive meet. Oh, yeah, you guys can tell them what the actual meet and greet is, like what you did there.
Yeah. So, basically, just, meet and greet to do fun things on the stage.
Perfect.
That's pretty much it.
As described. Kind of. Almost as described.
We all bought high touches, and every single one was a high wave.
Yeah, that was a...
Oh, strike number 2.
Yeah.
When you put something as a high touch, there better be some type of touching involved.
No, there's no touching.
They should have at least...
Not even the glass.
Not even the glass.
People were going to hit
like ET or something like...
People were going to yell at today for that. I don't know why they just wouldn't say it was that, because people would still buy it.
It wouldn't matter.
Like, people would still... I don't know why they lied.
Like, when they say a high wave, like... They're on the stage, and there's like literally like plexiglass in between all of you, like a whole like wall of it. Like
it's weird.
And then the girls are behind it on one side, like little Barbies inside of like almost like a shelf, like a toy store. Like they're all behind the little plexiglass.
Like it was fun and cool, but also weird.
And then they like bring you up, and you're on the other side. You literally walk past them, you like wave at them, they wave back at you, and then you leave.
Yeah.
Which is whatever, but it would have been cool if they said that on the thing.
That. Just say, hey, high wave. People would buy it. It would.
I mean, it was definitely a chance to see them. They like looked at you, they talked to you, you could say stuff to them.
It's very cool.
But it's just like, if it's gonna be a high wave and you know that, then just say it's gonna be a high wave and do the high wave.
Yeah, I didn't really get that one, and that's what like everyone felt too, because everyone thought it was a high touch.
But we all got higher seats on like P3 or something like that because we didn't really want to be on the floor, mainly because I'm poor and I can't afford nice things. But it was pretty chill. But Zeg got like the super platinum ultimate experience over here, so you can tell him what that included.
He just like walked around everywhere.
Yeah, so I got the premium ticket, which basically included all access to literally all the meet and greets, with the exception of the high waves. I had to purchase that separate. That was a bummer, but I mean, we did it.
Literally, he was just like, "I'm with the band."
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
That's
and he's got to go to what any line he wanted to.
The first day was like really wild though, trying to get in because like they separated for like the meet and greets. The what is it, like meet and greet A and B was like separated by like a wall in the room.
Oh yeah, there was two separate meet and greet things. It was very confusing, honestly.
Yeah,
because A was what, the one that had the high touch and stuff.
A was like high touch and B was send off. Is like they were like labeling it as, or maybe it was the other way around. But
and you did some of the send offs, right?
Yeah, so like the premium always included a send off, but it didn't include the waving at the artist, which was real bummer. But then they were like,
it's the same thing, just
right.
you're waving at them.
Right, exactly.
Just a little more eye contact.
Without the glass.
Right. Yeah. but it was like super confusing. Like the first day, like they were like, no, like if you're trying to do the high touch, you have to go in like the other line. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of dumb. I can't just be wherever I want. And then we got on the Ive like 5 minutes, 10 minutes late, and it was like, I don't know, it was dumb. It got more organized as it went on, but
It's kind of crazy. These meet and greets, there's like a ton of people there.
oh yeah, they were like the rooms were like packed.
And honestly, if you like look at the thing when I was there, like when we saw ours, like the other side that had the B one, there's like so much more room than the side of the high touch one. It was like all the way to the back, and the other was like 15 rows deep. Like you could have been so much closer if you're just on the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
I think just everybody thought they were going to be touching them, and then they didn't.
Was that how the other ones were too? Where one side was way more packed than the other?
Yes.
Typically,
Yes.
Huh.
And then what else? Oh, like you got red carpet access. Like
That's actually pretty
each
sick.
night, which
That
was
is.
actually really sick. I went to the first one, and then I just decided not to go for like the other two because I don't know. I didn't really feel like doing it on the second day, but like today, like there was like I don't know 2 times as many people as before. I just did not want to deal with the crowd.
What'd you get to do there?
Basically just like an MC, kind of like introduced them. They walked up on stage, like waved at everybody, said hi, said like a couple words here and there, and then they dipped, I guess, to go to the concert, and then the next person or the next group came up.
But it's so sick. It was like
And
legit like a red carpet, like at a show or
basically
something.
like the red carpet experience from like the Grammys or something, but you know, with idols, and
That's pretty
it
cool.
was kind of fun.
I think you're the only one that got to experience that, so that's pretty sick. He made the most of his stay.
I really did.
I spent too much money on food. Not by my own choice. Taco Bell's expensive.
It really is out here.
But I see our stats and info department over here has pulled up everything I've forgotten that happened because I'm terrible at my job. So what even happened on the first day? Like, who were the groups? I can't remember what the groups were that did stuff. Because there's like little special things, but there's always like one boy group and one girl group almost. They had like a little KCON stage they performed on. And then they'd actually go do like a small performance at the actual show.
Yeah, we saw Limelight.
Yeah,
They were really
Limelight.
cool.
Oh, they were sick.
They were really good.
They did like 3 or 4 songs,
Um,
which is like all they have.
The most disappointing part was I really wanted to hear Eye to Eye live, and they played like some weird self-shot music video, and it wasn't even the whole song. How's that?
Pretty much.
Sad.
Pretty
No,
much.
but like, talk about the KCON stage because that was like where everybody was.
Oh yeah, that place was
Oh,
packed.
that was so sick.
Packed.
I loved it.
Who was the other group that went on day one
Day,
besides
day one was
Limelight?
8 Turn.
8 Turn? That's actually that's pretty cool. 8 Turn. I'm trying to see what else happened here. There was like a bunch of things with like this guy from like Kiss FM, which is like a radio station here.
Yeah, I think he did that with Inmix. Was that the pop-up talk?
Yeah, with JoJo Live or whatever's going. No, that was that with I don't know. One of them was like a pop talk
That was
That was
JoJo Live. That was JoJo
with
Live.
Kevin Wu.
That was
Shout out Kevin Wu, man.
Yeah, Kevin,
Beautiful, talented man.
Beautiful guy that I was just jealous of, and just extremely handsome and talented.
Very smitten.
Really,
So
really good at his job.
yeah, there's a special stage with some other people. JoJo Live had Wavy on there. Then there's a K-pop pop-up talk with Inmix. Let's Class with Gravity. Was that the one where they taught you how to dance, like do
No.
dances and stuff?
That's where they taught you like a couple Korean words or phrases or something.
What was the one where they taught you how to do like dances? There's like a whole other stage.
Yeah, that was
That
like
was the other
dance
dance,
Oh.
the dancing stage.
And like actual idols would come up and like show you how to do some dances and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was
cool.
usually packed too.
Who's on the day? Who's the
Was
day
my
one
gosh.
idols that came up?
We saw Inmix. I don't think there's anybody else that like actually did the dance teaching thing.
By the way, there's also a lot of other stuff that happened. I'm just like trying to paraphrase some stuff because it's gonna be a long episode or special episode, whatever you call it.
There was so much that happened.
Yeah, and then it's like you walk around. There's like all kind of booths for like Choice Music was there selling albums to me because I bought some like a fool.
I completed my Kepler collection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brett completed his Kepler, which is kind of cool. You just get them all in one place, not pay shipping. It's nice.
Yeah.
I guess your shipping was flying here.
Yeah.
And then what else was there? There's like just random booths everywhere. There's like a random McDonald's truck that was like giving out stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it was like Korean beauty stuff, which I mean, sure is cool. But like when it's like a KCON thing based around like the artist and the music, I feel like every group should have had like a booth of some kind for people to go to. Even if it's like just you giving out like a scannable card that's like, oh, check out our last comeback. Like, you know, like, hey, you know, because I mean, I make business cards all the time. You could literally make hundreds of like cheap cards with the group on it and a QR code on it for like nothing.
Yeah.
But there was a certain amount of groups that did have stuff. I think the coolest one was the the crack scene one? Because didn't you say that was run by like the CEO?
No, I don't know who was there.
Or somebody told us that like the CEO was the one that was like giving everything out to people.
Sure.
So that was cool. But yeah, there's a couple groups that had stuff. There's another place where you'd like write a little postcard or note to a group you like and throw it in the little box. And they could read it later, allegedly. I'm trying to think what else there was. There's a bunch of cool
There's
stuff
the
around.
box.
The box.
Oh yeah, there's a box. The CJ Live box.
That was
Like,
very cool.
it's basically like when you go on YouTube and see K-pop people doing like random stuff, and it's just like a blank room with like a MC, and they're like sitting in chairs and they get up and like do stuff. That's what it was, except it was like in the middle of the floor, and it's literally a box, and the idols like went inside of it. So it was like the studio like got.
It was like a compact
Got lifted
studio reality thing. You can kind of see the workings of like how it all works when they have the host in the room and the idols,
And it's like clear.
You can see like the guys on the computer in the back and the camera people and then you could go on the other side of it. Like one of the four walls of the cube was literally a big screen that showed the production.
What they
you
were actually like
you were
showing.
watching them create was like what you would watch in like a YouTube video.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. I thought like it was just kind of a cool.
Or you could go on the other
behind-the-scenes
side
thing.
to just watch it live. Like,
Yeah, you can like watch the idols in there doing the thing. It was dope. I like that kind of concept or whatever it was.
And that was the convention for day one. And then Justin and I left and came back to the room and changed and showered because we were really sweaty from being outside all day. And my back hurt really bad. And it was a very long day because we'd been up since 1:30 in the morning.
It was a long day.
Then we went to the actual concert. And like I said, we got up higher seats in like the third balcony row, which were sick, honestly, because we got to like see everything. It was great. Zeg was on the floor. He was our eyes on the ground.
Yeah.
So he was down there for everything. It was pretty sick. Now, there was always like the little MC lady. I forgot what her name was, but she would like introduce the people who were coming up. And they would always open up with like two kind of special guests, I guess, or someone who came up and performed. One of them was Kevin Wu. The other one was another guy named George, who apparently is like a famous guy people knew. I don't know.
Producer
He like
or just
writes
made
music or
songs that
something.
people like the cover.
Then you got like the people on the KCON stage that were on the other convention who came up and did like a song. And that's when we saw A-Turn, we saw Limelight. Both of them are really good.
Both are really good.
I could definitely see Limelight being on an actual stage like next year.
100%.
Yeah, especially once they start adding more members too.
Yeah, it's true.
They were real good.
And then you got to the actual performances, and for the most part, it like kind of alternated, honestly, between boy groups and girl groups, boy groups, girl groups, boy groups, girl groups, and everyone came and played at least 2 songs, so that was cool. I don't remember who the first group was that played, though.
We definitely need a schedule for that.
We need the stats and info
I don't
department once again.
I don't know if I can help you with that one.
I don't even know if it's.
I want
You
to.
had the people with the thing.
I want to say the
I
first
have the
group
group.
that. Okay, well here, first off, certain groups would come up and did like little special intro stages as well. But I'm pretty sure the first group that played on day one is Gravity.
Yeah. Had to be because I don't think it was anyone else.
Wavy was pretty early.
They came out and did like a special stage before the show because they did the what did they do? I don't know. They did something and then they like left.
And they're just
And they're like, oh, Wavy's done already?
Ran off the stage.
Because everyone's
There
like,
you go.
we were all like, they brought him for one song?
There you go. There's who did play. I don't know if that's the right order though.
Yeah, so
They mixed and matched.
I know Wavy came on originally and did something. And we're like, oh, they like only played one song and then they left. But then they like came back a later time. And then after that, we got In Mix, which was sick.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was
seeing
actually
this
really
again.
cool.
I don't know who taught Lily how to talk to people, but she's a goof.
It's
So,
just a silly use.
but yeah, no, In Mix was really cool. That's a group I really wanted to see because we skipped out on seeing them in Atlanta for their like Nice to Meet You tour, and we were like, oh, I hope they play at KCON. We just see them at KCON, and they did. Unfortunately, we didn't get the meet and greet in the High Wave thing because, well, we were outside. So KCON, send us our $100 back. 'Cause
Honestly,
I'm not mad I missed it. I'm just mad that
I'm just mad
you
at
messed
you.
it up.
It's your fault.
And then after In Mix, I think after that, that's when we got Wavy. They came out and did stuff, right? So yeah, Wavy. Actually, Wavy's pretty sick. For those who don't know, they're like a subunit of NCT, but they were pretty cool. But that's like the Chinese like area That's where Lucas was, and then now he's gone. So after seeing NCT stuff, we're now like 0 for 2 for seeing Lucas doing anything because he's not there anymore. And before we saw him, or before when we saw them, it was NCT 127, but he was still like on an indefinite hiatus, so he wasn't there. One day, maybe, I don't know. But then after that, we got to see IVE, and we got the song that everybody wanted to see, Kish.
Hitch.
And it was sick. Everything I hoped it was going to be. Oh, I forgot to say, Wan Young was the host. She was
Wan
like,
Young was
she was like the little
host.
MC for the night,
MC for the day.
Gorgeous.
which was sick.
She is truly a talented human being.
Then after that, we got a special stage, which was probably honestly the highlight of my entire experience, because one thing I never thought I'd get to see, because it's so old now and just like they're never around at the same time, was Taeyoung and Tin playing "Baby Don't Stop," one of my top 3 like favorite boy group songs of all time. And I was like, I remember I was talking to Justin, and I'm like, because he was like in the crowd, like there's moments where like the crowd emceeing. And he's like introducing Wavy, and I'm like, man, maybe they'll do "Baby Don't Stop," because they're here at the same place. Like, I see an empty stage, I see 2 microphones. Like, what else are we gonna do?
Honestly,
And then it popped up, and it's like special stage, Taeyoung and Tin. I was like, oh my god, are they gonna do it? And they came out. Oh my, I almost cried. It was like beautiful. I was so hyped. So that was a good moment for me. Then after that, we got Shonu and Kyungwon from Monsta X, and they did their song that they made. I don't really know what it was, but everyone was hyped. They like love those guys. Everyone loves Shonu. I know that. And then they did like a little in-between type of thing where they had to like do like a random dance to songs that came on.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you, I just cannot take those 2 dudes seriously doing it.
they were so goofy, and their song was a more like mature kind of like sexy dance song, and everyone obviously freaked out for him. But then they're just like the most like goofball guys going up trying to do these other dances.
Like I'm talking about like songs like
I was like, how'd you even pull that concept off? You guys are too silly.
like Super Shy, or like just like random like poppy, like really like popular songs. But they did it. It's funny. I honestly thought that was like their second thing. I didn't think they had a second song. I thought they were just gonna do that. And they
had a pretty big spotlight.
And then they did their second song, which I also don't know what it is. Sorry, Monsta X fans. But no, that was good. Then we got
They did a good job though.
Taeyoung, who came up, most coolest dude ever, just most charismatic guy in the entire world. But he was really hyped. The crowd loved him. I was telling Zeg and Brad about how when we went and saw NCT 127, he was the unsung hero because he had like the stomach flu or something, and he pulled up that Jordan flu game, and he got on the plane the night before the show and flew into Chicago like a couple hours before they played, so he could come perform at the concert, which is like super sweet. Like, that's amazing. Really dedicated. But he's a really cool guy. He did some of his solo stuff. That Sha-La-La-La song, so sick, so good live.
So good.
It hit so good. The bass is awesome. He's just a great showman. Like, he's really good. But then we got the real
Then
star.
we got the
of
greatest
show.
showman.
Literally the greatest showman.
Possibly the greatest performance at KCON.
It was good. Besides Baby Don't Stop. But that's the personal thing. Whatever.
Besides maybe My Bag.
In my
Spoilers.
bags.
Maybe it's top 5 then.
But we got the man himself, Taemin from SHINee. And my gosh, that dude
man.
is an experience on his own.
Yeah, he's it.
Like, I know his, like, solo stuff, and, like, he's really famous and stuff, but I never really paid super close attention to it. I've seen Move performed by maybe every single idol in the history of K-pop at one point in time on some variety show. But let me tell you, seeing it live, done by him in person, completely different.
Oh, yeah.
I'd really appreciate for the other idols to stop disrespecting his work by trying to come.
He owned the stage
I'm just
by
kidding, though.
himself.
Everybody's... Yeah, he's like the definition of, like, a solo performer. Because we talked before, like, if you're going to be a solo artist, you have to, like, own the stage. It's just you by yourself. Like, you have to, like, draw people in and, like, just cover everything. He's, like, the definition of being a great solo performer. His moves are just, like, so fluent, just so crisp and perfect. It's, like, unbelievable. But, yeah, no, Taemin was really good. I will say, I think there might have been maybe one other group that may have had just as much or more cheering for him when they came out, but he was very high up there. Like, everybody freaked out when he was performing. But no, that was day one. That's pretty cool. What was your guys' favorite performances, would you say, from day one?
Definitely Baby Don't Stop was up there for me.
Oh, dude.
And then just everything that I did.
I was very good.
It was just so good.
Very good. They're all very good. Gosh, baby, don't
And
sound
then
so good.
I think now I'm starting to stand Limelight.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
Limelight's
right.
really
They were
good.
so good.
They were so
They
cool.
were really good.
They were really good. Their little sailor outfits were amazing.
That also helps. They're great.
It's
They're
an
great
excellent,
outfits.
excellent concept.
They were little tiny sailors. But yeah, so that's day 1. We'll go to day 2 now. And this is probably the biggest day for Justin and I personally. I'm sure Brett and Zeg also thought it was a very big day.
Oh, definitely.
Because, what?
I said definitely was a big day.
Oh yeah, I was going to say. Because this is the one reason we flew all the way to California to come to KCON to begin with, was so we could see Kepler.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Because everyone who's listening to this knows that we followed all of Girls Planet very closely. A lot of our favorite people are in Kepler. And Eugen from CLC was in Kepler. Well, is technically still in Kepler. And my main goal was I wanted to see Eugen because we all know I was a giant CLC fan forever. And this was my one shot, maybe, to see a CLC member like live in person. And I was like, I need to do this before Kepler disbands and they're not a group anymore because their contract's coming up. And it's going to be way before, I think, the next KCON's going to be. And they don't like tour with these groups. So it's like either now or never, honestly. So that's all. We like bit the bullet. I was like, you know what? We're going to debt. I'm going to go see Eugen. I'm going to go see Kepler. This is going to be sick. So that's what set the tone for the day. But the best news was Zeg's friend, that I don't remember her name right now.
Oh, Jiru.
Jeru, yes. Sorry, Jeru, if you're listening to this. I'm sure you're not, but if you are, I still owe you some money because that was sick. You let us hop in line in front of you. Sorry to anybody who's behind us.
I'm not.
But she let us cut with
apologize.
her. She's like, yeah, I've been in line. It's been a long line, and you guys can come cut in here if you want to because we were talking to her or whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. So we got to go in line, got in pretty quick, which is awesome. That really just set the tone for the day to be super, super sick.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what even happened inside the
I
convention.
just know it was just a lot of Kepler.
Because we just straight out just went to see Kepler do
We
everything.
basically followed them
We
around.
went straight into the KCON stage for Kepler, and we just followed them everywhere they went, essentially.
And it was sick because we went to the KCON stage, a little one I was telling you guys about where they do the interviews and stuff. And did their interview, and Justin, well, we were behind him, but Justin was literally the second row from the barricade.
we were all
that's the
extremely
closest we're
close.
ever. Well, until today, that was the closest I was ever going to be to the Kepler members. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And it just so happened all the little Asian girls were around us, so we could see over all of them. So it wasn't our view was blocked.
There was actually not taller people
For
in
once.
front of us for one time ever.
So that was
actually
nice.
pretty amazing.
Also, sorry to all the people who were shorter that were behind me that I didn't move for. This was me being selfish. I apologize. But yeah, so we followed him to that, saw that. It was awesome. Then we went and we watched him do the high touch, high wave.
Oh yeah, the meet and greet.
Meet and
so
greet.
followed
We
the
went to their meet and greet and did their high.
And that was
glass.
that was the only high touch meet and greet I did was the one for Kepler.
That was the one where they started organizing a little bit better if you had both premium and the high touch. Because I talked to one of the guards and they're like, oh yeah, here we'll just pre-scan you to go before you even go in and you just go line up in the high touch. And I got in pretty quick.
Which makes
at that
sense. I
point.
mean,
Yeah.
Right.
but that was really good. That was really fun. And then, of course, like always, I made Justin and I special shirts for our biases. And we walked past them at the little highway thing, and I showed Eugen my shirt, which had basically screenshots from the ponytail video from 6 years ago, which was the first time I saw her in Sangyeon. And it just said CLC Forever on it, and I showed it to her, and she loved it. So that was awesome.
She tried to do the ponytail dance without a ponytail.
That's real dedication right there.
That's how you know you're a professional.
Justin had one for Youngin on it, and it said Queen on it, and he showed it to her, and she loved it. So that's always fun. I hope she just takes away from this that there's somebody who remembers that she had a ponytail music video at one point in time in her life. But no, that's really cool. I hope she liked it. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. I waited, like I said, 6 years to meet a CLC member in person. I literally was face to face with her. We were separated by a piece of plexiglass. So I really took it in because the guy yelled at me to stop standing there and move. So I was really just in the moment. I was the moment, as they say on Twitter. But no, that was sick. Then after that, didn't you do the thing we got to wave at him?
Oh yeah, and then for that one I did the send off. I did that for Ive too, but yeah, for
Oh, yeah.
Kepler, yeah, the send off, which was kind of cool.
Sent him on the way.
basically, like, after the high touch, everyone's out. And we're just, like, standing in a line along, like, a barrier. They just come off stage and just walk in front of everybody. We just all wave at each other. But, like, the spot to be was at the end where they turned around. Because it just hung out there for another, like, 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So you just got so much more interaction right there.
It's always the best when they're, like, trying to rush you through something. Like, stop, or, like, don't move. But you're, like, the last one or the first one, and they're just, like, standing there, like, talking to you.
Yeah. Oh, it was great.
So that's pretty cool. And then after that, that's when we went up to the little workshop thing, right? Or did we do something else? Did we do any stages in between
We can
that?
do that.
Because I'm trying to think of who did the stages on day 2.
Craxy did a stage.
Yeah, so, hey, you can tell them about your Craxy experience.
Yeah, like, I listened to Craxy a little bit before, and they're, like, really good. But, like, Saturday was the day I became a Craxy stan. Or a crown.
I was going to say, what's their fandom then?
That's
Yeah,
pretty
they're
sick.
crowns.
That's pretty sick.
It is.
We did love their new Gudum song. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're so cool. They did, like, 4 songs at their stage, and then they performed later at the actual concert.
And they kind of have that darker concept going on, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Pixie or like Pink Fantasy or people like that. I don't even know if Pink Fantasy is still a group.
And I became best friends with, like, the old lady at their merch line.
That's what you really want.
They had, like, the best merch of any group there, too.
Yeah. See, they had their own booth.
Shout out to them for actually
with their
doing
CEO
it correct.
apparently selling people stuff, but they had like multiple shirts, different cards you could buy, like different fan signs, like just the gambit of K-pop stuff that you could buy. And it's like, why wouldn't you do that for all your groups? Like, you're gonna sell everything. You're gonna sell a lot of stuff. Like, it's just easy money.
And these shirts are sweet.
They are really cool. They are really nice.
Sold their album, got, like, some buttons from them, and, like, a big 25 pack of cards or something.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
awesome.
Sick.
The cards are actually really cool. It's like just a whole pack of photo cards. It's pretty great. And what they say, like, there's like a 5% chance one of them had like a signed one or something.
Signed Polaroid, yeah. I didn't get that, but still, it's really cool.
Gambling's great though.
Should try it sometime.
Yeah, it's great. If you haven't tried it, go do it. Just don't get addicted to it. So that happened. He's a huge Craxy fan now, which is cool. I mean, they're pretty cool. What was the other? What's the boy group that was there?
Very, very.
Oh yeah, Very Very. I was kind of shocked that Very Very was on the actual K-pop stage and not like just on the normal card because they're kind of popular.
Yeah.
But then we went to this workshop thing. We weren't really sure what it was, but good thing we did because that was like the sickest thing ever. If we would have skipped everything and we just got in the line for the workshop thing, they'd be first in the first row. Oh my gosh, we would have been like literally like
died.
a foot away from all the members of Kepler.
Yeah.
They did like a little game thing where they like had to like pick like, oh, who has like a headset on, and you'd be like, oh, I do. And then one of the members would be like, oh yeah, you can come up here. And so the people they picked literally got to go on stage and like take a selfie with them. Like, I mean, like they're like cheek to cheek, like they're like right next to them. Talk to them, hang out with them, take selfies with them, and it was like the coolest thing ever. Then they signed your Polaroid for you.
Yeah, it was sick.
Like the sickest perk you're ever gonna see in your entire life. So that was pretty cool. They did that, and then we left from that. I don't know what happened after that. Did we come back here after that?
I think so.
We probably did. Yeah.
You guys did some. I watched Kepler on the dance stage. You guys did something else at that, or maybe you came back.
Maybe we just went out and ate.
Because I
that's what I did.
Because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
went and watched Kepler again.
All right, yeah.
And I don't know what you guys did, to be
I
honest.
think I did go eat.
I think we went and ate.
I think that's when I went to see Craxy.
Yeah, we all kind of separated. Long story short, food there's way too expensive, so
Oh, yeah.
bring
Shout-
your own meals
Put
that they're going
ramen
to
in a
throw
cup.
away.
Shout
Ramen
out-
in a cup,
You
though.
can't eat.
Shout out $20 bento box.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah, so they got this ramen shake-up thing. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's like a container
Of ramen.
with ramen and like vegetables, and they put like a broth and meat in it, and you literally seal it like a boba, and they shake it up like you.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I know exactly what we were doing. We went to go find Nikki.
Oh, yeah.
We
Yeah,
went
we did.
We went outside to like this outside like DJ experience, right? To go find one of our other friends. And out there they had a McDonald's giving out free smoothie samples, a boba place giving out like free whole boba teas, a Ferris wheel. And when we were out there, randomly XG came out and had a JoJo Live, so we watched XG do stuff.
Yeah.
I actually sold them a lot this weekend. But yeah, so we did that, and then we came back inside because that's when we found them. So
Yeah.
because we were like, oh yeah, where's Justin? And he was like deep, like
It's super deep.
he was in there. We just like stood in the back. But yeah, so yeah, I remember because we're standing there, and I thought Brett was with Justin the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, they're up there. We'll get them when they're done. And we're standing there talking to Nikki and her friends, and then Brett walks up. He goes, hey, and I was like, what are you? I thought you were Justin. I'm like looking at him like, He's like, no, I'm not with him. I was like, well, if you're back here, where's he at? And he was up there, so that was kind of funny.
Some sick side shots too of Kepler.
Oh, Justin literally
I
was
was
basically
I
on
was
the
really
stage.
close. I mean, if you want to be close for 7KCon, you have to go early and wait at least over an hour. But
When he means anything, he means like food.
no, like you have to just
any type of.
you have to like kind of be
Booth.
committed to miss things that you would like to see if you actually want to be like in the front for stuff. But I was able to like wait. I think I was there about an hour and 15 minutes early for that.
Which, I mean, you almost have to.
And like I wasn't able to get in the very front at all of like the front because there was already people there. But I was able to get in the front and the side area, so that was cool.
Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention, day 1 and day 2, shout out to everyone who had Pixie merch on. Because I had on a Pixie shirt. It was like Dia, the one that Justin got me for my birthday. And then Justin brought his Pixie shirt from the tour.
Mm-hmm.
And when we actually met Brett at the airport, I was like, dude, check out the shirt I got. And he goes, and Justin's like, yeah, I'm going to go put a lid. He goes, guys, check this out. He lifts up his sweatshirt. And he also had the exact same Pixie shirt on, which is funny because we didn't even plan for that to happen.
No way.
And then we went to the show, and I think I saw like 5 or 6 people that had
There's
like a Pixie shirt on, the exact same Pixie shirt.
There's like a good amount.
And then other people had like a hat or like a bag, or people would come up and be like, yo, that's sick. Like, those guys are awesome, you know?
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Good to see Pixies out there, like,
Yeah, people were representing.
getting popular, even though a guy later on told us he only has seen not popular groups. And the first one he said
Small
was Pixie.
groups.
So,
Have you heard of Pixie? We're like,
yeah, brother, I have.
yes.
Here we go again. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. That was pretty much the convention for me. I think after that we kind of left and then we came back. Because we come back to the hotel room group. It was just like a, 15, 16-minute walk over here.
It wasn't too
Yeah, it
far.
wasn't too
though.
bad.
And it was another nice day. That day was nice too.
Pretty much
It
all the
was-
days have been good. Even today when it was
wasn't-
raining, it wasn't
It just
too bad.
wasn't raining that day.
Then we went back to the show and they had some people come on. One was like a dance team.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I wasn't crazy about it.
Yeah,
They went on for a long time too.
Yeah.
they
They
did.
did.
I mean, it's not like they were bad or anything. It's just
No.
when they change, when you're so used to seeing a certain choreo for things and you switch it up, it's just kind of not the same for me.
Also, our host for the pre-show all 3 days was Alex Reed, who used to be in Rania.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah,
Brad
she-
knows who it was. I didn't know who it was.
She was the host every day.
She was.
She did a
Yeah.
good job. Or like the opening host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the dance team, and then who? Oh, Craxy. I was like, who's the other people that
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, it was crazy.
came
Yeah.
out? And then Very Very also did their little stage.
Yeah, Craxy played Nougatum.
They did. It was
It
awesome.
was really good. They
They're-
did a
they're
really,
friggin'
very good, nice job.
Go hard. First off, we're also in the crypto arena. I don't know if I've said that in Los Angeles, like the Staples Center. You know, the house that Kobe built.
Mm-hmm.
And the sound system there, unbelievable. Like, my gosh, the bass
Yeah.
hits hard.
It was awesome.
But yeah, so we got that happened. Craxy played, Very Very played. And then we got I, never heard of them. But shout out to them for being I, and they had 11 people. Because, like, if you take the N out of the name, it's just the number 11. So
Yeah.
that's pretty
Hopefully they
sick.
stick
Oh.
with it.
There's
I didn't
actually,
realize that.
there's like a lot of groups that were boy groups. That
The
had
boy
11
groups
members.
just had huge numbers.
Yeah, that was. Oh, I forgot to say, the beginning, that's when we got the sick XG stage where they covered, like, the 21 song.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
so cool. That was
And then,
so good.
Psychers covered the BTS song, really
Yeah.
just got the
Fire.
crowd hyped.
Yeah,
That was
they
cool.
did like the pre-show cover remix stages or whatever.
And then after that,
which is a really cool
And
way
then
to
after
start
that, ATEEZ comes out and just plays Wonderland, like,
yeah, and it was
just
so
to start the
good.
show.
Yeah.
I was like, what? So that was awesome. Because I was actually wondering, I'm like, are they going to play Wonderland? 'Cause I know it's really popular, but you only have so many songs you can play. And that was a long time ago. I don't know if they can still play it. And then they just came out and played a pre-show, like, before the show even started. So
Right.
that was pretty cool. And then after that, we got I. They were cool. Then after that, did we get, I don't remember, did we get XG or Kepler before that?
I want to say it was XG.
I
I
don't
feel like
remember.
actually was earlier.
Yeah, I think XG was pretty early.
I don't know how much, since it's already happened, I don't know how much the order of it really matters. But, yeah, we got one of them. I'm pretty sure, right, it was XG. And I think they were kind of like a late write-in because 50-50 was supposed to be there. And then because of their contract stuff, they ended up dropping out, so they weren't even there. So XG came out, and, man, they were good.
They were really
They
good.
were real good.
They are really talented.
Yeah,
Seeing Girl Gang live, that was so cool.
it was with the chairs. It was cool.
Yeah, they brought the chairs out.
They played TGIF and then Girl Gang. And, of course, they opened up and they covered, like, 21, so that was sick.
Yeah, I'm the best. They did.
Yeah, it was awesome. They like kind of like
It was like a
remixed it too.
remix. It was really cool.
It was really good, so that was cool. Then after that, we got Psychers. I've never wondered, or I've always wondered how to say that. I guess that's how you say it.
Psychers, Strikers, something like that.
They were bad. I mean,
They were good.
I've seen them walk in a music bank probably 1,000 times on the show.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that group is pretty popular, but I was thinking KCON overall is pretty cool because a group like Craxy or a lot of these Limelight or Lapalus, like, these people get to go on the stage and perform in, like,
Huge.
thousands of people when so many K-pop groups don't even get close to that. Groups that are probably even more well-known than they are or have more fans, but, like, they get to go on the stage and perform in front of, like, an arena.
Yep.
Like,
For you, one song.
Big groups get to perform in arenas for K-pop, like big groups, and like I just thought that was cool. That
I mean, if you put together all the shows we went and saw, or all the shows Tribe did on their tour, I don't even know if it equaled the amount of people that were in the one arena for Limelight to play their one show or their one song.
No,
Like not even close. Or Pixie. Like, I mean,
No.
Pixie did a lot of shows, so I don't know.
no, I don't think so.
So I mean,
Because
think about that.
so it's just cool for those kind of groups to like they get to go perform in front of thousands of people like for that, and it's just like a good way for like new eyes to see them, you know.
And our host for today was Rain.
Oh yeah.
He
I mean, he wasn't a bad host. He just kind of struggled with English a little bit, so it's kind of
like
awkward.
nothing. Yeah, it was just like kind of hard to hear what he's saying sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, he was doing good.
Yeah.
Then we got the one that we all went to see, which is Kepler, which was great. And the only thing I think so far, the only song I wanted to hear and I didn't hear was Wa Da Da. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. You can only fit so many songs. I mean, they've had a lot of songs since they debuted, so I mean, what are you going to do? But out of all the songs I wanted to hear, I guess I got Baby Don't Stop, and I didn't get Wa Da Da, but I heard all the other ones, so I can't really be too upset about that. But yeah, Kepler came out. It was sick. They played Giddy, which is great. And then they played Back to the City. And it's like, at that moment, I was sitting there, right? And I wanted to hear Back to the City. That's like the second song on our list I want to hear after Wa Da Da. And I'm not a very emotional person, but when I saw them, it was like, I don't know if it was a song or what. And I was like, man, I'm really watching Eugene and Kepler perform right now. I had like tears in my eyes. I was like, this is like the most magical experience of my life. Like, this
No,
is
for
crazy.
real though. Like that's how I felt the same way.
It's like a very nostalgic kind of beat. Like
when
it's like,
they-
like an old school throwback song. And I'm like,
yeah.
it just hit me. I'm like, man, this is what I waited for. Like, it's actually happening.
I felt that when we went to the first stage, and we waited for like an hour and whatever, but we were really close, and they actually came out like it wasn't until like I wasn't gonna like cry, but you're right, like it was something that's like inside,
Like, you could feel it.
like in your like heart,
man,
in
this
your
is like,
face, and it's like you like actually do care about these people, and like I don't know, you've like been with them and invest in them, and we didn't even like that lineup when it initially came out, but like seeing them up there, it was like actually surreal. Like,
And we really followed
like seeing
Kepler for a long
superstars
time.
in person right in front of you. So it was like really cool to see them, and like we really needed to.
I don't know, like I said, seeing Eugene in person, I was just like, this is like, I don't know, everything, all the years of supporting CLC through the bad,
It was
the
just
good,
like perfect.
liking K-pop. They like got me super into K-pop. That's what they got me super into K-pop. That's why I got a tattoo with them on my arm. But man, that was like legit, like a moment. I was like, wow. I've seen a lot of K-pop stuff and I've enjoyed it, but that was like a unique experience where I'm actually like, this is like.
There's only been a few times I can really remember when I'm like, it's just like that emotional heart, like pulling where you're like.
And it's also kind of bittersweet because I knew like this is probably the last time I'd ever see her play,
that sucks.
perform anything.
That really sucks, but it was good now. Like it was all good. So
that was a very good moment. So like I said, I'll trade Wa Da Da to here Back to the City, and it's just like. The moment, the song, the music, everything was just like perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So that was sick. Then after that, we got the real star of the show.
Rain again.
We got
Man
Rain.
himself.
Oh, did Rain go before or after Zero Base One?
He was the last act.
Was
No,
it?
no,
No, he wasn't. Oh, no, he
Eighties
wasn't.
was. So we
No,
got
you're
Zero
right,
Base
you're right,
One
you're right.
then.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
I thought Rain was first. Who knows?
But yeah, Rain.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
I mean,
They did have three of the guys from Zero Base One come out of the stage to announce someone else, and my gosh, it was deafening.
let me tell you, that was another one that's like super loud. That was definitely, I think.
Deafening.
I don't know. I was gonna say that might have been the loudest one for that day for Zero Base One, but I don't know. ATs was pretty crazy when they came
That's
out.
right, yeah. ATs was a closer.
But I think it's pretty crazy. It's just comparable.
It is very comparable. Like Zero Base One's been around like what, like one tenth of how long ATs has been around, and their fan base was nuts. Like, that was... Everybody was there to, like, legit see Zero Base One when we went to the convention. Like, it was like, unreal. Like, there was so much Zero Base One people going.
That was their day. And the convention schedulers, however they kind of write the day for the show, did a really excellent job of, like, yes, ATs is our main event and, like, the main person we're seeing, and it showed. But they, like, featured Zero Base One in a way that was, like, this is your future main event. Like, it was just written in a really nice way that flowed well into each other, where no one's, like, stepping on each other's toes, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, Rain.
And then Rain, maybe.
Rain's out here just doing what he does, you know?
When he's a ripped old guy. Well, I don't even want to say old. How old is he?
He's older than me, so I mean, that's pretty old.
Yeah.
I think he's got to be in his 40s by now, right?
50s, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, he still looks like
great
just
shape.
Probably when he was like 19.
Big takeaway from Rain. Great shape.
Oh. There's funny. I don't even know. I know we played Rainism. I don't know what the other songs were we played. He was getting hyped though. Like, I don't know how much of the songs he actually sang because he's just kind of running around to the backtrack. But there's one point he was like spinning around and just like shirt. First off, he makes it seem like it was an accident, but his outfit was like a pair of jeans with like no shirt, like a jacket, right?
Yeah.
So he's like spinning around, his jacket comes off, and after the song is done, he's like, "My bad. I'm sorry. I'm half naked right now."
It's just like, yeah. I mean, he's just a goofy guy, I guess.
But no, Rain's cool.
He had a lot of songs.
He did really good. People, honestly, I was so shocked. I didn't realize everyone was here for Rain because when he first came out, everyone was singing his songs that they were playing.
People were excited for him. People were excited, like more excited than I thought they'd be.
I honestly did too. I thought it was gonna be like when he went to the Warped Tour, and it went from A Day to Remember to Pepper to Paramore, and people were like just there to see Pepper because they wanted to see Paramore.
Just because like you have to wait for this person to be done to see who you want to see.
But no, people liked Rain.
Yeah, he
killed it.
He did a solid job. Still got it.
He really does. And then we got Zero Base One, and my gosh, people flipped their shit.
Now, it wasn't quite the emotional Kepler sing, but it was still surreal seeing those guys.
It was very crazy seeing them
weird.
because, you know, we followed Boys Planet for a long time.
Yeah.
But I think the weirdest, most surreal moment was actually seeing them play their Pick Me song with the Dream Stage people.
Yeah.
Because, there's a Dream Stage. People get to go on after they go through, like, these tryouts on the dance stage or something. And then they like actually get to go dance to a song with an artist for that night. And there's like a different dream stage every night.
Who was the first one?
Was it Ive?
It was I.
It was
because they danced to
I Am.
I Am?
They danced to I Am. I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was Love Dive.
I thought it was Love Dive.
I
think
it was
is one of them. But yeah, they danced with Ive the first night, which is cool. They like literally come up on the stage and they like flash.
It's like a lot of people, yeah.
And that's pretty fun for those guys. So congratulations to you guys. That's cool. Because they actually have to go through like a huge vetting process in order to get to this point.
Right.
But the second night was Zero Base One, and they all danced like the Pick Me from their show, which I've heard God knows how many times.
A lot of times, but not that many times start to finish.
Yeah, I think I've heard the first like 30
a lot of
seconds ever probably
snippets,
a billion
but not
times.
Start to finish. But that was really cool.
But seeing that like live, like mentally in my head, I was like, this is crazy. Like I've seen them do this so many times.
And their outfits for the night were kind of similar to what the Boys
They're like
Planet.
school
They were like
outfits.
kind of school suits,
Yeah.
which was what Boys Planet was. So it
the
was
Dream
like,
Stage is
it's all
cool.
kind of like what we watched on the show.
I really for a minute thought the Dream Stage was going to be with Rain, and I was like,
wow, shout out to them getting enough people to sign up for that.
and shout out to them knowing the choreography for Rainism or it's raining or something like.
Oh gosh.
But no, they did it with Zero Base One. That was sick. Everybody did freak out when Zero Base One came out. Like
They have a good fan base already.
They are very strong. They're going to be very successful. But then we got the stars of the night, and that was ATs.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, my gosh, the place erupted when ATs came out. And they opened up with Bouncy, and it was everything I hoped it to be. That was like the one thing, the other song I wanted to hear, besides What Did I Go Into? Like, I just want to hear Bouncy live. Like, I'm so excited for it. Zach never heard it before.
No, never heard it.
And I was like, well, your first night hearing it's going to be live at KCON. What was your thoughts on it?
Oh, it was absolutely phenomenal. I loved it.
So sick.
Super sick.
But man, ATs is sick. So yeah, they did that. And then they had a special thing. I don't remember, did they do it? Maybe they did do it the first night because Taman was the performer. Because the main guys, they did like a little Hi My First, and they played like their first like song they did.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Taman's first song was he did. Maybe it was Move. Maybe that's what they did. I don't know. But ATs like
did any of those.
threw it back. And I was so shocked. 'Cause first of all, I didn't think they were going to play Wonderland because it was old. And they played Pirate King.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a debut. That was a cool concept of like what to do for
It reminds me of like on Weekly Idol when they
Yeah.
make them go
It's
back
like-
and redo their first
A
song.
little
they ever made.
video intro was cool to kind of introduce it.
And it like flashed up like their old like logo because it changes over the years, like for their album logo, and everyone just freaked out. So Pirate
You know,
King
like
was
everyone
awesome.
will love that too. Like the group's doing their debut.
Oh, yeah.
Like people be like, yes, beautiful.
You try to tell me I'm not trying to see CLC go back in time and play Pepe right now?
Yeah. That's it.
So that was cool. And then they did Wave, and then they did Gorilla, and everybody freaked out at the end when they did Gorilla. So that was a pretty good day too, especially since a lot of people consider that to be like the not good day, like what
Yeah.
they didn't want to
Yeah.
see. So that was pretty cool. I loved it. I got the full Kepler experience. I saw him 4 times that day. I got to see the songs I wanted to hear. I saw Zero Base 1. I cried a little bit on the inside. I saw Eugen. I mean, I don't know. That made it worth coming out here anyway, so that was sick. And then you guys could talk about this day 3 more than I could because I kind of just stayed in the hotel for a little bit. But yeah, so day 3 happened, and this is when Hurricane Hillary really just apparently took off and swept California away.
This is when we had to like separate the like real KCONers from the not real KCONers.
And let me tell you, there's a lot of real KCONers.
Like,
A lot.
'Cause it was packed.
honestly, too many.
So yeah, you guys can talk about what happened because for the first little bit they left because they had a bunch of meet and greets. I didn't have anything, and I'm just gonna stay here maybe until the show because I don't really have anything I want to do. So I basically stayed here at the hotel where they left, and I ate Brett's tacos that he was saving, and I watched some Signal videos on YouTube. It's pretty cool. But yeah, you guys can talk about what happened when you went over there because I wasn't really there.
Yeah, we actually Ubered over because we didn't feel like walking in the rain.
But what about
But,
singing in the rain?
We had about a 50-50 chance on where the correct entrance was to even
Yeah.
get into the convention.
And we chose the wrong one
And
initially.
we were wrong. Well, again, that was like the KCON saying something, and then we did that thing,
And then, yeah,
and then that thing was not what we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
So
Classic, really.
because we wanted to go in and see G Idol, and
But I will say this was the first day it felt like security really knew what they were doing.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it looked like getting it right on the last day.
it
Oh,
was
3
it
a.m.
was improved.
1 and 3.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's like 33.
It was the 6 inches of water.
It was.
Imagine what that could do to a person.
Oh,
Imagine.
imagine.
Just imagine. My
Look at that.
goodness. Would you look at that?
Yeah, and then we got in and we went to see G Idol for that. I was just in the regular send off line because I didn't pay for the high touch. But when it was over, somehow when I left the little hall, I ended up immediately in like the front of the I forget if it was Everglow or Itsy.
Itzy was second.
Okay, yeah. I ended up like right in the front of like the Itsy meet and greet, like for the high touch people, but somehow was it both Justin and Brett, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out
Yeah,
to
I ended
Brett.
up like
Oh yeah.
all the way in the back somehow.
We were like in a hangar that they put us in.
But for Idol, I had a ticket that Timote had. Our friend Timote had an extra one that he gave to me, and then Brett literally got his like on the Uber over.
That's
So that was pretty clutch. He got the meet and greet A, which is included the Hive Wave or whatever. So that was pretty cool.
I literally bought it just so I could get in early because I actually high touched Idol like Thursday. 4
Yeah,
days
you
ago.
like, literally saw him in Chicago. The
Less-
show we were
less-
supposed to go and we didn't go
less than
to.
a week.
He went and saw him, and then he flew here. True fan.
Yeah.
So we did that. Brett got that on the Uber. We drove over and tried to stay as dry as possible. But Idol was great. I mean, all of them
Yeah,
have
Idol was
amazing,
really good.
amazing personalities. They're just like really funny. Like they're overall like
Yeah.
a really funny group. They know how to like kind of make fun of each other and all that. But that was fun. And then we like looped back around and
Looped
did
back
the
to
Itsy one,
Right.
which
Well,
I bought that morning too from someone.
shout because you were looking for so long.
I was literally
Yeah.
looking when the tickets came out because they sold out so quickly for the high touch one, and then like the morning of like 3 hours before someone was selling theirs and I found it. So shout out to that person.
Also,
Thank
this
you.
lineup was stacked for today.
Yeah,
It
the
was
third-
great.
the third
This is
day
the
was
one like
crazy.
everybody wanted to see.
So then we all looped back around and we did our Itsy meet and greet,
Well-
which again was amazing.
Also, on our way over to see Itzy, Leah was just like walking in the hallway.
Oh yeah, that was crazy because Brett and I had to go line up somewhere else. They were kind of again being a little more organized with how people got ready for these things, and then as we were walking to the line to get in, like the people in front of us started waving at this person walking with some people, and I was like, man, this person like has a lot of friends in this line because all these people like it was like the waving was like next person was like Aaron like who is it no, and then we looked at it and it was Leah just walking. No, that's what I was like, why do all these people know this random person walking? And then I was like, oh, they have really blonde hair, and it was just Leah. We're like, oh hey, what's up, Leah? And she's like, hello, and there's like right by us. I don't even know where she's going. A really weird way to get there.
I have no idea.
But that was very cool. That was like the
Took the scenic route.
the pre meet and greet. She really did though. The pre meet and greet with Leah. But Itzy was great too. I mean, they played games and it was like the similar type of thing. And the high touch, high wave was super fun. It was a really fun way to start the day. Like before noon, and we already had like Matt Idol and Itzy.
And that was before like most of the convention floor stuff even happened.
We weren't even in the convention at all at this point. We just kept doing the meet and greet stuff that we had. So, but then we just headed into the convention.
Yeah, pretty much.
We just kind of hung out. I'm trying to think. I know I saw Kepler in they did the little CJM.
Okay, so this
box
is
thing.
when I showed up, right? So we got a warning on our phone. There's a flash flood. It's like, don't go outside unless you have to because you might get trapped. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go outside and go to the convention.
And the earthquake.
So, we haven't got that far yet. We're almost there. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go outside and go to the convention. So if we all die, we can die together as a team. So I headed over there. For long story short, it was raining and security doesn't know what they're talking about. So I went over there. I walked in straight to the convention. I didn't know where you guys were at. I saw someone said they're going to the McDonald's stand, so I walked over there, and it was like packed full of people. I'm like,
we did do that before. We actually did it. We did the McDonald's thing.
I was like, who's over here? Like, why is there so many people over here?
Yeah.
And I'm like looking around, didn't see anybody, so I left. And then someone's like, oh, Itzy's over there. So I walked over there, and I actually was in the back, and I saw.
Oh yeah, we saw that too.
And I saw Justin and Zeg. But there were like 4 rows in front of me, and I didn't like cut through the people to do it. So I'm like, all right, screw this, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
So then I knew, I was like, okay, well, this is perfect because I know Kepler was gonna be in the box. So I went over to the line, and everyone's lining up by the exit area because I thought that's where everyone's gonna go in at. So I lined up there, and then an hour and a half later, they like showed up, whatever. And I'm like literally first row, like against like the little ropes they put out for when they walk out because everyone thought they were gonna go in that way, they didn't, but they left that way. And so that's the closest I got to them because they were like literally like arms distance from me. And I just recorded on my phone them like waving at everybody. So that was pretty cool. That was like the 5th time I saw them this week. But I did hear the Itzy stage and everybody's freaking out because that's all you could hear was the people for Itzy until ATs came out at the McDonald's thing and then everybody freaked out. And they literally took off like a stampede of people like ran over there to see ATs.
Well, before you got there, when it was like the one stage, it was ATs and then it was Itzy.
Oh man!
And these had big crowds the other days, but like these ones were just like so big that they were out into the convention, like where all the booths and the different people selling stuff are. There was just like people flooded in all of it. It almost was like this is not enough room for like the amount of crowds that they had. I mean, like Zeg and I watched Itzy. I don't even know. You were in there somewhere. I mean,
yeah, I found you guys eventually
because there was just so many people. We were like, all right, you just gotta find a spot and stand there. But it was just crazy the amount of like. And we're like, oh, ATs, like maybe some people will leave and we can get closer. No, it was just these massive amounts of people.
What's crazy about that
flooding.
Is if you got close to the KCON stage, that's like way closer than you'd ever be seeing them perform at the actual show.
Yeah.
And they actually did
the KCON stage was awesome because
and they did like a little show too. Like,
yeah, the KCON stage was great because it was like a little variety thing. Maybe they did some music, but it wasn't just like a reserved thing for like the quote unquote smaller groups. Like a lot of like ATs was there, Itzy was there, Kepler was there. Like a lot of the bigger people went to it. Like
Craxy was there.
A lot of the bigger people went and like did stuff there. Like not everyone, but it was cool to see like kind of a different view.
There was like a thing for Earth Arcade, the show too, on the first day.
Okay, that was lit. That was like one of the best
like
things ever.
Eugen and their producer.
Oh yeah, I didn't see this, so you guys can say what happened. I don't know.
Yeah, that was like back on day one. They just like talked about the show a little bit and like taught us about it.
We just like saw it on the schedule and we're like, well, let's just go see Eugen at this thing because I didn't really know the producer. I know the show a little bit. But I didn't know the producer. I was just like, well, Eugen's going to be there. So we went over there, and they like kind of talked how they made it, and then they played some games. It was essentially just like Eugen's own little showcase for just her doing stuff. She like danced to some cover songs. That was like really cool because no one else really got to do that.
Right.
It It was like kind of an individual Eugen event.
But like, yeah, and the showcases at the KCON stage are so cool too, because like you get like 3 or 4 songs from all these smaller groups.
Yeah, it was like a concert.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like a little concert, and you're like really close to them.
Yeah.
And day 3, I don't know if it was the rain that had anything to do with it, but like they said before, the crowds were so huge. When XG came on, they were like, you couldn't even find a spot to see them.
No,
No.
it was like a mini
So
wall.
we walked up, and we were like the very, very back, like waiting for you guys. Dude, the crowd was like unreal. When they panned out on the camera and they were performing, it literally looked like it was like a Lollapalooza crowd. Like it was so many people. Like everybody in there was watching them.
XG's crowd for that. I mean, I don't know how far AT's was back or AT's was probably the biggest, but I mean, I feel like XG's almost compared to ITZY's and AT's is because it was just, again, the people were just like flooded back into the convention. Like, people were trying to move us and put tape on the ground to make walkways because we were just like covering up all these different ways people were supposed to walk. It was literally a giant mess, actually, because so many people wanted to see like these people on that stage. And XG, yeah, they had a ton of people that wanted to see them.
It was unreal. That's probably the biggest crowd I've seen in there. But I didn't see. Well, I guess I was in the issue one for a little bit. I left. I don't know if it got any bigger after that. But if they didn't get any bigger, then the XG was way bigger than the ITZY one was. Because where you guys were standing when you saw ITZY, for when we pulled up for XG, was like way past that. Like it was like insane.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You guys left after XG, but Rise came on after them, and that was just as big.
Was it really?
Yeah,
Wow.
SMT.
So I'm wondering if maybe some of that, nothing against XG. I'm wondering if some of that was.
I bet it was.
I feel like a lot of those probably wanting to see Rise.
Everyone's
because
excited about that. 'Cause isn't that the one that hasn't debuted yet? Like they're like a
Not actually.
new group from SM that haven't
It's
debuted.
literally a new SM boy group, so a big deal.
But yeah, the crowds were unreal. Like I mean, you could have said that was bigger than any crowd that showed up to any of the Tribe shows or the Pixie shows on its
I
own.
mean, not even close. Not even
Just
close.
the sheer numbers alone just made me not want to do red carpet today, like at all.
There was a lot.
Like the
Didn't
amount
want to deal with that.
I thought about it when I walked in there because I walked in separate from you guys. I kind of got in pretty quick, but once I got to the actual venue into the convention, I literally thought I was like, there's so many people here. Like this is the biggest crowd that's been there since the thing started. Which, I mean, it is the biggest day. Everybody was waiting for this to happen, so that was cool. I mean, good for them.
Shout out to the little CJE, whatever it is thing, because watching Kepler in there was like so fun. That was like the last time I got to see them, and just like watching them do their little show was awesome. And they'd look out and like wave to you and stuff, and it was like right there.
And then Justin
So-
also got a sick video of them leaving the thing.
Yeah, I
Like,
didn't even know you were there, and like
I didn't know where he was. He didn't know where I was. They didn't even know I was in the convention because I never said I was going. I just said I was coming up.
yeah, just until now, I didn't know you were at the ITZY thing. I didn't.
Yeah, I was there, and then I literally left, and I stood at the Kepler one for like an hour and a half. And then the best part about it was I stood there for so long, and he said he like watched him in the box and like just went over there
I
afterwards.
just like walked over.
And I literally stood there the whole time, front row. And when they came out, they didn't even look in our direction. They looked completely at the other side. So Justin has like all of them waving at him with me like in front of him, with him not waving at me because they're looking the other direction after I waited the entire time.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only thing I did the whole day was wait to go see Kepler at that thing, and that was it.
It was cool though. Like just like watching him do that was really fun.
But they're like so close to you when they leave the thing too. Like
yeah,
literally, it was like an arm lengths away. Like Cheyenne was making hearts with people when she left,
yeah.
so that was fun.
There's a lot of people lined up to like watch them do that. It was cool though. I like that. I hope they probably had it before, but I hope they bring it back because that was a fun thing to like be a part of.
That was really good. What were the little groups that played on the KCON stage today? Well, Rise was one of them, right?
Yeah, Just Be, XG, and Rise.
Just Be. It's funny because I remember actually saying on the first, I'm like, man, XG's gonna be crazy on the stage. You gotta watch it. Then I completely forgot about it, and I didn't do it. But yeah, such is life. My whole plan legit was just to hang out and watch 8 hours of Signal videos, and then go to the concert tonight. But once it Flash Flood hit, I was like, you know what? Should probably just go.
Okay, that was Xian on the guitar. That was Xian
Who?
from Everglow playing the guitar.
The picture that I have?
Sick.
Oh, maybe not. Like what?
I know
song-
one of them was her.
I knew one. The one.
Oh no, the one that
the
was in
other
front of me
side?
was not her. No,
Okay.
that is absolutely her.
I was gonna say.
Oh, no.
So I don't know who that was. Maybe
No,
it was
I don't know
probably
who
a
that
girl
was.
from Lapis. Then they probably
Oh,
took
yeah,
one
probably.
each. And, okay.
Yeah, probably.
So
I didn't know what
speaking of
side
that,
you're on.
we went to the concert.
Well, we came out here.
We came back home first for a little
Yeah,
bit,
hung out a little bit.
and then we went to the concert.
Yeah.
And we got Ubered over there again. Pretty cool. It rained a lot. busiest that we've ever seen it trying to get into the venue. But we got up there, and the first group that came out was... Who was the first person that came out?
Pre-show.
Well, so I think it was another one of those like cover groups. There's like just like the random.
Oh, like
Like
the
dance team
dance
type of
team
deal.
did, yeah.
I don't remember that happening.
I think that was like the first thing that happened, but they did like actual choreo, not like something made up.
Okay.
That's kind of like why I remember it. And then I think it just went right into Everglow and Lapis.
Well, there was still the pre-show.
Was
Is
that
this
not was that not pre-show?
The
It was like the first real show, I think.
Yeah, it really did start later. Like maybe that's throwing me off. It was testing such a.
Because then they had the one girl from the red carpet came up and sang.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Esna played. Esna sang.
Esno sang.
She sang a song.
And then Just Be and Rise also did a song.
Yes. Just Be's actually
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Rise had like their own little like introduction showcase thing.
Yeah, they, like, had,
because they
get-
did a couple songs. And
Get him hyped.
They had they were able to talk a little bit too. So
And then after that, they got into the, well, kind of like a pre-show still thing.
Yeah.
And it had
I
a
think it was Everglow.
collab with Everglow, who made their electrifying comeback to America after being gone for a very long time.
Yeah. They started COVID off.
They did.
yeah,
We've said it before, but the last time we saw Everglow in America was the day that the world shut down because of COVID. So, really, depending on what else they've done, we were probably the last people that touched their hands. So,
I'm sticking with that.
that's, I mean,
Because
honestly,
they went to Jersey and they did it.
because after they did the
Tough
shows, they did like elbow touches, and they did like waves, and they just cut it off at all.
right.
Yeah.
Completely because COVID like took over the world. But we literally had a high touch with them. We were like the last ones to have a high touch with them. And then if they haven't done any shows since then, or really any concerts or anything, we were the last ones that did a high touch and touched their hands at a high touch event, which was like years ago now.
Yeah, it really was.
Like what, like 3-4 years ago?
Something
it
like
was
that,
it was
yeah.
long. They've been gone themselves for a while. Because I mean, they had a couple comebacks after we saw them, but I mean, they were gone for like 2 years or something like that before they
Yeah, almost as long as Blackpink.
came out with their Slay song.
Yeah,
They were
slightly,
gone for a
released,
while.
like last week or something.
But yeah, they had like a cool collab with Lapis, who's a newer group who won like the Road to Max thing so they could play at KCON. And one of our favorite people in there, Shauna from Girls Planet, is in it, so we like to support her. But yeah, do you know what song they played? Do you know what that was? Was it just like a little medley thing?
It was Girls on Top by Boa.
Okay, so they played Girls on Top by Boa. Good thing Brett's here because I had no idea what it was, but it was awesome.
It was just sick.
It was really cool.
Yeah,
It was like a really cool cover of it.
And then after that, they kind of started the whole show, and we got JO1, which is like a, not really produced show, but like a group that was built from like a contest in Japan. And like one of those groups. They're pretty cool. And they also have 11 members in their group. So another 11-member boy group that we saw.
Not the last.
Not the last one, but definitely another one. And then after that, we got Lapis. And they're actually really sweet.
Yeah,
Their music was
They did
really
a really
good
nice
live.
job.
that was really cool.
Zach was like right in front, so they're like dancing in front of him.
Zach was always on the floor, so he got the best photos.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Then we had like a special stage by like a couple member of the boys. And I don't even know. What was it, like 4, 5, 6 of them maybe? I mean,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of them. But there's a whole like butt ton of them. And then like the name of the group was like all the initials of their name. So it's like the craziest looking thing I've ever seen. I don't know if it's a real subunit or if they just did it for this, but they came out and did something. And then we got Everglow, which is what everybody was waiting for. Everglow. Justin and I actually had not listened to the new comeback. And we did a live reaction of us reacting to the new song live at KCON. So
Yeah.
look forward to that. That should be a mess when
That's
I put it up.
Gonna be crazy.
I don't know if anyone's ever done that. We never had an opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I mean, reacting to a song for the first time
Live at a
live
show.
at a show is pretty sick.
After they just came back. So it's pretty cool.
A few
So
days ago.
we'll put that up eventually. Once we get back, I'll work on that. Who's after Everglow? Oh, first off, Everglow came back and they played like a medley kind of thing, and it was like a mashup. Well, again, they're a mashup, but like a switch up. And they played Dun Dun, and then they played La Di Da. Amazing.
Amazing.
Super good.
So
super
good. They were really good. They just sound as good as the last time I heard them 4 years ago. Beautiful. But yeah, they were really fun. Everyone was super hyped for them. Everyone yelled Everglow, let's go super loud. So that was cool. Who was after that? Was it? Itchy didn't go after them, did they?
I think they did.
Did they?
I don't remember. Actually, maybe it was Itzy.
Because I don't think it was the boys. I think they came after
or was
Itzy.
it Idol?
No, Idol was later.
Yeah, Idol was
it
like
later? Oh,
second to
Idol was
last.
very late in this show.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Itzy. And Itzy came out and they freaking rocked. Everyone was super loud for Itzy. And they had Cake, which was awesome. And then None of My Business, which is like their 2 newer songs. They actually played a lot of songs.
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Their special stage I think was Sneakers. Or Sneaker or whatever.
No, that was their third song.
Third one.
Yeah,
okay.
Sneakers. They actually, I was surprised because they got a third song. Because they played None of My Business, thought they were done.
Yeah.
And then they did Sneakers. And then they left. And then we got The Boys, which I mean, I've never really listened to them that much. I just know their song Salty because it's cool, but it's like a B-side. But they're one of our other friends in our chat, Nikki, who we actually went and got yesterday from the beer tent. And they were actually pretty cool. I never really heard anything from them. They were pretty cool. The last song they played, I think it was like Thrill Ride or something. That was really cool. I'm a big fan of any time a group has choreo where they make a giant snake and they just snake around
Just run around
the
the
court,
stage.
like in Bouncy. It's the best.
Yeah.
But they were like really high energy. They were fun. Oh, I forgot to mention that they, in the last one, we'll get to it here in a little bit, but the main kind of groups do another kind of special thing called CCCV or TV or something. And essentially they put the camera on a random audience member and then they have themselves and like the audience member makes like hand gestures and they like copy it essentially is what it is.
That was like not my favorite.
I thought it was kind of weird. I don't
didn't-
know why they did it.
I mean, it was fine. Like, and for the most part, it was pretty good. It just wasn't my favorite. I like the emoji one more.
The emoji one where
yeah.
they did the random dances.
Where they
was
had to
fun.
figure out what the emojis mean in the song, and then they do like mainly because it was like always bangers.
And we did
Yeah.
get the first appearance of Love Shot, so that was cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Always
Oh,
love a
they
good
did.
love shot.
And they did Anti-Fragile.
They did actually did a lot of good
Yeah.
songs. It was pretty good. So that was the boys. They were cool. And then we got Idol. People freaked out for Idol. They like
They really did.
erupted for Idol.
Oh yeah.
You should have seen Brett over here with his light stick.
My light stick died right after Idol was done.
Perfect. It's meant to be, man. And they came out, and the first thing I said before we saw was like, one of the songs I want to hear today is My Bag. Like, I want to hear My Bag, okay?
And boy, did we hear
And-
My Bag.
And they were like, I don't know. They've had a lot of songs come out since My Bag. They're kind of popular, so I don't know if they're going to play it or not. But boy, they played it, and it was beautiful. They bagged so hard, let me tell you. It was beautiful. My only regret was that wasn't the dream stage, that they got to My Bag with all the little dancers. Because that would have been the coolest
That
thing
would
of
have
all
been
time.
super funny.
That would have been the best. Just everyone twerking
People
their
would
hearts
have
out.
loved it too.
But yeah, no, My Bag was sick. That's one of the songs I want to hear. They played Tomboy, so everyone freaked out when they played Tomboy.
Everyone was singing the explicit version.
Yeah,
They really were.
And then they opened up a Queen card. Everybody loves that song, so they were freaking out. One of the songs I've heard 1,000 times this weekend, because every random dance had the Dancing to Queen card, or the one like La Seraphim song. I've heard it so many times. And Justin heard, what was it? Papa Pia, Mamma Mia? Papa
Papia?
Papia.
Dude, I think that I really want to know if that was like the theme song for KCON this year because it was everywhere. I
He
mean,
literally said I've heard the song so many times
Because-
today.
Well, I think what was really the kicker was when I had to wait for a little while for Kepler to go on the dance stage. I think actually one of the dance team that opened later that night, a few of them came up and taught that song. So it was literally like them going through the steps of the Papia song over and over and over again. So then I had to hear it a bajillion times. And then it was just everywhere at the convention. I really want to know if for some reason they're like, we need this to be the theme. Because they literally played it when their idols were at the end doing their little send-off walk
Yeah.
around the stage. But I heard that song and then we learned it's an AT song, so.
Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good song, but I just heard it so much. So even it was echoing across the thing, and it went in my ear. I'm like, "There's that damn song again."
That's how I feel about Queen Card, honestly. I heard it so much.
You just hear
it's
it
an
so-
unbelievably large amount of times. Because you just be sitting somewhere in a hallway or walking, and someone's randomly playing it on their phone, or they're singing it and dancing to it, and it's just everywhere.
Queen
Yeah.
card triggers a reaction in me. I can't not dance.
I mean,
Sorry.
see, that's what it is, I guess. But no, Idol's really good live. Were they just as good as when you saw them in Chicago?
Yeah, I mean, they were equally as good. I just had a different perspective this time.
Because it's really high up in the air.
I was way up in the rafters.
Yeah. I mean, our seats are pretty good, so that's cool. And then we got Stray Kids.
Well, the Dream.
Oh,
Dream
yeah.
stage was right
Sorry,
after
the
that.
Dream stage.
Oh yeah.
And that's when they had ITZY come back out and they did Wannabe with all the little Dream Stagers.
Something cool about the Dream stage. They did like the ending fairy with the Dream stage
yeah,
people.
they did.
Oh yeah.
Some of them really
Some of them were really good at it.
took advantage of the moment. Like, they've been waiting their whole lives for that.
No one was like, I don't want to say bad, but like I feel like some people were like, if I get on that ending fairy, I'm ready.
Like, it's like muscle memory. Like, they've been practicing in
They-
their room.
They knew they did practice their ending fairies.
So that was cool that they did do that. Then they all got a picture with the group and everything.
Yeah,
Which,
like-
it's going to live on forever, so.
Yeah, I'm like, shout out to that awesome memory that you have and we don't. So I'm super happy for you and not jealous at all. Even though I feel like it's a little unfair to the dreamers because we're the dreamers.
I guess
we
technically-
don't dance. We can't do that. Those people are all great at dancing. It's not like the dream stage should be for idiots that suck. I'm
AKA
serious.
us.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you should just throw us on there. Like, you
Good
like
luck.
these people, and like the dream is for like you dummies to be able to do this, not the people who go up there and literally dance just as good as them.
I don't know, dude. I mean, a dream stage is more like, yeah, this is like your dream to perform with them, so you train for it. It's not like a Make-A-Wish thing where it's like,
Well,
this is your dream to perform with them. Here, I'm gonna put you up here.
Well, a dream is a wish your heart makes. So
I mean, I guess technically, I don't want to confirm that with Wikipedia. I don't know if that's true, if that's the definition of it, but
I mean,
it might be.
watch Pinocchio. Okay,
I haven't seen Pinocchio in a long time.
I can tell. Anyway,
Actually, when was the last time I saw Pinocchio? I saw that weird creepy one on Netflix,
oh yeah.
like Geppetto. I don't know if that's the same thing or not.
all I'm saying is whatever. You guys are already good at dancing. Congratulations.
They did do good.
Everyone,
I guess
everyone was very good.
They earned their spot, so that's
Everyone
good.
was very good.
But if everyone got rewarded for what they're good at, we'd have Best of Illinois Times already.
I would hope. I don't know. Maybe if they knew if we were in the state of Illinois.
That's the big bugaboo right there.
While you're celebrating KCON surviving Hurricane Hillary.
Yeah, I know, right? I should put that, like, when they ask us about it. What if we win and we get an interview in the paper? I'm putting that in there.
Oh, you had an interview today too.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we had this random interview with this dude.
We did.
Like, it was, like, legit. He, like, had a little microphone, and he's, like, wearing, like, a suit jacket. And he had his little friend recording us. And, of course, we plugged ourselves, because why wouldn't we? It was pretty cool. I mean, we were totally used to the paparazzi coming around all the time and asking for interviews. I usually say no.
It just kind of sucks that we have no idea what his name is, no idea what his thing is.
He's like,
But
oh, yeah, I'm a TikTok guy. I go around
he
asking
said he's
people
going
to
to
do
tag
stuff.
us. He said he's going to tag
Like,
us.
about K-pop stuff. I go to, like, concerts and stuff. You know, I like to talk to people. I'm like, cool. I was like, what's your TikTok? Like, what's your name? He goes, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll tag you guys. I'm like, sure.
So we'll see if that happens.
So I don't know about that. If anything, Zeg actually has the video on his phone. That
He was
took
really
himself.
nice, though.
Yeah.
The guy was cool.
So we will maybe upload that.
He was like a guy in like a suit
Like,
jacket.
he's like legit official, but way more official than us.
And then he had a like guy with a little like phone that had a like cool little microphone on it.
Yeah, so that was cool.
So I want to see it. I hope we can see it one day. But he needs to tag us.
Which is weird because like I was gonna ask him what your TikTok was and follow you, but I don't have a TikTok, so I can't do that. So I don't actually know if he has any other social medias. Because if he doesn't, I don't know how he would
Yeah,
tag
like,
us.
maybe he'll like look and be like, yeah, they don't have it. Delete.
But I mean, our name, we literally plugged ourselves, our names on our shirt, our jacket, and our hats.
Yeah.
So all he has to do is Google it and he could find us.
We told him other stuff too, so I don't know. We'll find out. But it was cool.
Yeah, it was
He was a cool guy.
very official. That's the only interview we've ever taken. All the other ones I turned down, like all the collabs I turned down too, but this is the city built off our own backs. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so then we finally got to Stray Kids. And I think, besides Tame, and this was like the loudest I heard the crowd for anybody, because they went nuts when Stray Kids came out. You should have heard them just when Bang Chan came on like the little video introduction thing for being the MC. Like, deafeningly loud. And then they also, when they were actually performing, like, so many people in the upper decks were like standing up, like chanting and like going nuts. But they love Stray Kids. And then we got this only other song I want to hear, which is God's Menu.
Oh yeah.
And it hit real hard.
It hit.
It showed why it was our number one unanimous vote for Song of the Year like 3 years
I
ago.
kept thinking that when we were watching it. I will say, I did enjoy Bang Chen as the host
Best-
the most.
Best MC out of all of
He
them.
was the best and easily Rain is last.
One Young, it wasn't bad. She just kind of didn't seem like she really cared too much. She was just kind of like a robot.
She was just like a robot, which, like, that's okay. She did a good job, but Bang Chen was my favorite.
Yeah, so she MCs a lot anyway.
Like you can tell she was just like kind of reading off the card and doing what she was supposed to do. Like, you know, the definition of like showing up and doing your job and leaving.
I feel like because like obviously everyone, like, even when the group's talking and stuff, they're always reading off something. There's like a script, but like there is a way that you like do it, and it's like a little more authentic.
Like Bang Chen, maybe because he speaks English.
Yeah,
it was more like fun and playful with the crowd. Like it kind of like, you know,
he was just my favorite.
Throw little like special things in there.
When
he's like talking about like certain things
maybe
in between like his cue cards, where the other ones didn't really do it. I don't know if Rain tried to do it. Didn't really understand what he was saying for most of it. But yeah, no, Big Chen did a really good job. And then everyone just loved Stray Kids.
I do agree with you. I do think the loudest anyone was during anything this whole weekend was for Stray Kids.
I think it
was louder than
Stray Kids. I think was number 1 and Taemin was number 2.
Taemin was so close.
I think the third ones probably have to be ATs. Dude, if I learned anything this whole experience, it's that the boy groups really bring the pain. Because my gosh, they go ham out there.
I was thinking that too.
Non-stop energy.
Even in like every other event when stuff was going on anywhere, it's like people love the girl groups. They really do. And they're like can really kick it with the boys for real. Like they can, but like there's just that little extra that the people love the guys that just a little more.
Like we've talked before about how it's such a difference, it seems like, always between the boy groups and the girl groups when it comes to like popularity and like the fans and stuff. Because obviously we're more on the girl group side and we see like, oh, they're so popular. Like, oh, ITZY's huge, Idol's huge. You know, like we love these people. Like Kepler could be like the biggest produced series winning group, which I don't think they were, out of all of them that they had. But then you get like just one like kind of medium tier, like kind of popular group, and it's just unreal how extremely crazy the fans go for them. Like, even the boys had a huge amount of people, like, cheering for him. I even told Justin we're sitting there, I'm like, I didn't know they had so many fans. Like, people are freaking out.
Yeah,
I've heard, like, one song by them.
People love the boy groups.
But you get, like, those mega groups, and it's just, like...
Yeah,
literally another level.
Literally the big boys. I think ATs was... Or not ATs. Stray Kids was the loudest.
People freaked out for Stray Kids. I know. A lot of people freaked out for Taemin.
Closely followed by ATs.
I think Taemin had like the longest cheer.
Oh, people loved him. He like didn't even do anything. He's just standing there like,
well,
hey, it's been a while. Freaked out. Like,
his thing was sick because he didn't do, like, not everyone did, but like he just like showed up to the show, did his thing, and left. Like he didn't do anything in the convention. There wasn't anything going on. Like he was just went up there to go be the closing legend.
Even Taeyang, crazy. People loved him. There's so many people who showed up to the show with NCT light sticks just for Taemin for Taeyang when he came out for the first performance.
It was like big. It was like SM's day on the first.
And I mean, think about it. You even said that like there's like a ton of NCT light sticks.
There was like every version.
Like
I do think if we had to say like who had the most light sticks on any day, I think NCT won the first day of just like overall the most.
I was like, shit,
people with light sticks.
The day we were there today, I saw a bunch of people with NCT light sticks.
Like, I think it was the most light sticks I saw in the crowd, and then, well, it was just and then it was probably the ATs one, and then it was the Stray Kids one.
So I'm just like trying to think about all the boy groups. Like there were so many, even Shonu and them. And Youngwon had a huge cheering section of people.
Loved them.
Zero Base One, unreal fan base cheering when they came out.
They're probably like top 5 loudest crowds.
But no, thing. I definitely think Stray Kids had the loudest cheering.
I think it was the loudest.
Like it was like deafening. I'm glad we were sitting far away because that would have been like ungodly.
It's just like so loud.
Where my ears were ringing and down on the floor.
Stray Kids, their concert was so loud too. Like, I feel like they were louder than the other groups.
Oh man!
Like
I said, they went ham. They cranked it. Like they were going crazy out there.
I thought for like them and the ATs, they like literally made it like their own concert. It was like their concert.
It's like one of those things where I mean, there's some groups you see like, oh, I'd like to see them play again. Like, oh, this music's really cool. Yeah. But I literally left it like I liked it before. Now I'm like, I really want to go to a Stray Kids show or just like an AT show, like just for them, because it would be unreal. Although we've been wanting to see ATs for a while live, we just haven't really had a good chance to do it. But man, sick KCON overall, honestly. Do you guys have any other closing thoughts? My one thought was the boy group's just like bring it. Like they're like unreal.
Right. No, I don't really have anything other than just like if you ever want to go to one, just go.
Yeah.
If you can. Mm-hmm. Like don't worry about the lineup, honestly. Just as long as there's something there you want to go like see, just go for them. And then just experience everything else.
It was overall a great experience.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, it was totally worth it. And like the convention, if you only go to the convention, it's so cheap and there's so much to do.
Yeah, like for $30, like you can
Oh,
see
if
so
you're like in
much.
the area.
Yeah, I didn't even say that. I was like, there's literally times where Justin are just like, we do one thing at the convention, like, is it just time to go back to Springfield? Like, are we done with KCON?
It was just like
Yeah.
so. It was so worth it. As the convention was so worth it every day.
It was just $30, and like I said, you could get close to the people. Like
Yeah.
the ones you want to see, you could like go do other stuff or do events or whatever they're doing. $30,
Yeah, that's it.
way less than what a ticket costs. And then you buy a ticket to see them. Yeah, it's cool, but like us, we were sitting up like literally the nosebleeds. Like there was like 5 rows farther back than we were, and I'm like, this costs how much? And I could have just gone to convention for $30 and just been done, and been like completely like be like, oh wow, I've like fulfilled my desires. Like this is great. Like $30, what a good use of $30.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. The convention's like totally worth it. If you ever want to go do anything, just ask your mom for $30 to go to the convention,
Yeah.
and ask your driver there because it's easier to get dropped off than it is to drive yourself and find parking.
True.
Yeah, true.
Or an extra $20 you can Uber there. I don't know where you live at.
Also true.
Yeah, I don't know. It was really good. It was a really fun experience. We'll see what the future holds. Not gonna lie, it's been a very long weekend for me. I don't usually go away from my house for this long. I've been ready to go back to Springfield since like 3 days ago when we got here. So don't know if I'll come back. LA, you're cool. I'm gonna go out right now and tell you you're not Chicago. Chicago has you beat. It's way better, way busier, way crazier. But that's just my opinion. Maybe I just didn't get in the right parts of the city.
We literally had a hurricane when we came here. Like, what the hell are you doing? We
Yeah,
haven't had one in 85 years, and we have this, and there's a hurricane. Like, come
yeah.
on.
I've never dealt with that in Chicago. That's more like gun violence and gangs, but it's a whole nother beast on its own. But yeah, no, we spent some time walking around. People was like, "Oh, you need to go try this. You'll love it there. Try this restaurant. Eat this. Eat this." Well, I don't think you understand. When I go places,
No.
I go to what I'm doing, and I leave. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna like loiter around and like, oh, I'm gonna try this specific restaurant 35 minutes somewhere else. You know, like, I'm gonna get some tacos from Taco Bell and go home. But that's just me being me.
I thought the crowds were really good though, and
Oh,
I
the
thought,
crowds were super
I thought that everyone showed a really nice amount of love to like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like even like obviously some people were louder for other people, but I thought everyone got shown a lot of love by like the KCONers, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
even like when Kevin Wu were like the opening people,
like
came
the
out,
opening
like,
people, the dance stage.
people freaked out for
like,
this one dance crew, though.
yeah,
Like
the
all girl
dance
dance
crew,
crew.
like-
They like Larry. That's who it was. I was like, I couldn't think of who it was. Larry. That's it.
Was that today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that was today.
Susie wasn't there. Remember? I was like,
Yeah, because
Oh,
they have
yeah.
like
I was
a
like,
whole
is
history
somebody
of
is like
lost-
somebody missing?
Yeah.
And Susie
They
wasn't
didn't
there
have
for
as
some
many
reason.
people. But yeah, I thought everyone that performed or did anything, like the crowd was like really nice for everyone and like excited for him too. Like,
I guess technically it's not today, but it doesn't even feel like I went to the convention to.
There was also
Right.
that like one special stage tonight, like Destiny or something. What's her name?
you know, I didn't really get.
Oh yeah, Destiny.
Destiny Rogers.
I didn't know.
I
that.
don't know who that
I
was.
didn't
I don't know what that was about. But good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the song was pretty cool. I guess I just didn't know what that
Just a
was.
local
No idea what's
band
going on.
opening up.
Yeah.
That was like the special stage. Then the other
It
special
was kind
stage
of like
was.
a cool, like chill song. It wasn't a Korean artist. I don't
know who she was.
It wasn't
but
like a
Oh,
K-pop
no.
song,
I
but
use that as downtime. Look at my footage.
yeah, good for her.
it was chill.
Stay in school, kid. Keep your head up.
Well, they can't. They're off. They're off for the next couple days.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot the kids are off. The kids are at school.
Gosh, that's crazy.
The flood shut that down. But yeah, so I'd like to thank Zeg and Brett for coming and being guests on our show with us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Glad to be here.
Brett's never been on. Zeg's been here before.
I basically write the show. That's how much I'm here.
He pretty much does at this
He's
point.
just like the producer, and sometimes he steps in.
I came to KCON because Justin and Fob were willing to hang out with me.
Yeah, so there you go. See, we're nice
super,
guys.
super fun.
Um,
KCON, I mean, it was
despite what
fun.
anybody tells you on other podcasts, we're nice.
It was fun too because like we obviously hung out, but like if someone wanted to go do their own thing, like that was cool too. Like
Yeah.
you know, if we had meet and greets or everything, because it's a busy place.
I'm trying to think if anything else happened. 'Cause this is, I mean,
There was
it's
just
really
so much. It was.
Oh,
it was
we met this guy who said he listened to us. That was cool.
yeah, that guy was a freaking fan of everybody,
Yeah, he like loved all the groups.
just like us.
We met a lot of friends from the Discord.
Yeah, we met a lot of people in the Discord
Wow,
we've never
we
seen
did.
before, which was kind of weird.
My
Wow.
favorite thing was our friend Honey found Zeg accidentally
She
in
takes
like 5
pictures
different
too many
pictures.
times.
It was so
On
wild. She
purpose.
like be taking one of them. She's like literally driving by the line. It's like, is this the line to go inside? And we're like, how'd you get a picture of Zeg? She's like, what? And we zoomed in on just him standing there.
I don't believe her. I think she knows Zeg and takes pictures.
And then there's like 3 other times that it happened. One was just like the back of his head. I'm like, how would you know that this is him?
Why is he in this photo again?
But no, so yeah, we met some people from the Discord. It's pretty cool. So if you guys want to come join the Discord and maybe meet us in person for a chance to win an all-inclusive, you have to pay for yourself to get there.
So you're paying for you, but you can hang
Just
out.
come hang out with us at a show.
I'm proof that it happens.
He's living proof he won.
And you will be in like 10 days when we go see Ace.
Yeah, it's true.
And
He's
see
gonna be there
Brett
again.
again.
Go look at the Linktree link on our Instagram and you can come join the Discord for free.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good time. It's fun hanging out with the boys. BOYZZS boys.
We just need that logo. Well, I mean, it was long, but
It was a good weekend.
I'll go again if it's like the lineup is worth it. But it was fun. It was a good time.
I did go on the plane, so there's that.
Yeah.
Now I gotta go on 2 more planes tomorrow, aka today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how much I'm looking forward to that, but then it'll be over with.
Right.
Next time we're just gonna drive here.
Yeah.
We're gonna drive the 28 hours. We're just gonna drive
Gonna
here.
hitchhike here.
Yeah, we'll just drive here. I mean, that'd actually be a really fun adventure to go cross country because that's like the most cross country you can almost get besides living where Zach lives at.
Honestly.
But yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming to KCON with us. And yeah, Justin and I will probably do something else on Friday. Not sure what yet because the boys' plan is over with. Maybe we'll have more time to stew on what happened at KCON and we'll give you some other
Yeah, we can just do that for the next 15 episodes. Just talk about
flashbacks and thoughts
stuff
on
we
what's
remember.
going on. Because it is very late right now. It's like 2:08 in the morning in California, which means it'd be like 4 o'clock.
So I don't know.
4
Like,
o'clock.
right?
5 o'clock somewhere. So, yeah, until next time, we'll talk to you later. Peace.
Love you.
Bye.
Get out your system. 저 어둠 so damn dangerous. 무심하게 길을 비켜 alright. 여기 우주 속에 step D. 깃발 들어 ready.